So Amber's got a dietitian, huh? Well, we'll see. Welcome back to another Amber Alert video. AmberLynn Alert video. There's only one video this week. I know that she's been going off continuously on Instagram, where she will post Ask Me Anythings, and then she responds, and people have been putting up screen caps of that everywhere. Frankly, if you guys want me to get into it, I can go through, Twitter and pull out all of the old messages that she's had on there and talk about some of the specifics of it. But for the most part, what I've found is just it's filler garbage nonsense. A lot of what she talks about on there isn't directly relevant to a lot of what happens on her channel. And I found that a lot of that is very attention-seeking behavior. She wants us to ask a question, then she only tends to focus, well, not only, but she focuses very heavily on the negative questions that she gets to create this narrative that there's no support for her and everyone's a bully, and if we do it, we're punching down. And that's how she likes to portray herself, as the perpetual victim. And so I don't want to feed into that. I don't want to talk about it because I have personally not seen anything in there that's been super relevant. If I do tend to periodically bring it up. Today, however, there's only one video that we have to discuss. So this, she says that she's got a dietitian in the title of this video, which I'll throw up somewhere here so you guys can see it as well. And that got me intrigued. So let's talk about it.
So it has gotten to the point where people are like, you look so sick whenever I'm not wearing makeup. Y'all, I'm over 500 pounds. Recently, undergone some traumatic health things. So you know what? I'm not gonna look healthy. It's just that's not where I'm at right now.
I actually have friends who very much so feel the same way. They've never seen me without makeup on, at least some amount of light concealer and lip gloss and whatnot. And so when they see me without any concealer on and they see the raccoon circles that are always around my eyes, they're always a little shocked, what is that? Are you tired? Are you sick? And I have to tell them no, I'm not tired. No, I'm not sick. I have genetic eye circles, are just always going to be there. That said, this excuse that she has that because she's 400 pounds, she's going to look sickly, not necessarily. There's people who are significantly heavier who have great, beautiful skin and all of that. And the reasons for it are because they take care of themselves. They pamper their skin, they drink a lot of water. Even if they are eating junk, they take efforts to mitigate the effect that having a bad diet can have on your skin. Genetics, of course, always plays a role in it. Amber doesn't tend to do that with any kind of regularity, at least that we've seen. And so I feel that she is that way for this reason, right? The reason she looks so tired and sick is because she doesn't take care of herself. And an extension of that is the fact that she doesn't actually tend to sleep very well. She has sleep apnea, which we know about because she's mentioned it in the past. And because she has sleep apnea, she needs to get a sleep apnea machine. She is 500 pounds and 5'2". It makes perfect sense to me that she would have sleep apnea. But because she doesn't get it diagnosed, she doesn't want the official diagnosis on her record, she doesn't deal with it. And she doesn't sleep very well as a result. She tends to wake up a lot in the middle of the night. She has unresolved issues with sleeping through the night, actually, she's mentioned before, which she apparently just magically, miraculously got over. But whatever. She has issues with that. If she got the necessary therapy in, then maybe it would be effective. I'm not saying therapy is not a cure-all. It can help, definitely. The right combination of therapy and psychotropic drugs can really make a big difference. But having a mental illness means that it's a lot about management. So it might not mean that she will ever be 100% better, especially if it's non-sleep apnea related. But it can't hurt.
So after I had my hysterectomy, I was put on a medicine called estradiol, and it is a estrogen, obviously. And I was taking it just so I wasn't going through hardcore menopause symptoms and all that. I'm not a little bit more. Ooh, too much. That's from what I understood, that, is the reason why I was taking it. I look crazy. I've been taking it for since July of last year. So it's been a hot minute,
Okay, so if you guys don't know, she was put on estradiol as a replacement for the estrogen that her body is no longer making because she no longer has the right organs. If you know, Amber had a hysterectomy, a full hysterectomy, and a double oophorectomy, I think that's what it's called, where they remove both the ovaries and the uterus. As far as I know, I could be wrong on the details of that. And so she doesn't produce estrogen like she should. And estrogen's a very, very important hormone. It's very much so required by a myriad of different things in your body. And so she was prescribed that, and she's just decided to stop taking it because she knows better, apparently.
So I would take 1 milligram a day, once a day, and whenever my prescription would run low, I'd call my oncologist and get sent a new one in. And I don't really know what happened a few weeks ago. Long story short, I haven't been on estrogen for, I think it's been about 2 weeks now, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel fine. If anything, I'd rather not be on estrogen, just because I know high levels of estrogen could make cancer come back, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, there's an update. I am no longer on estrogen.
That is such a stupid fucking thing to say. I know that, like, I don't think Amber is dumb, but I think Amber sure likes to play dumb really often, and she's putting this garbage advice out into the world. No. Estrogen is very, very important. Estrogen is the primary female hormone, and it is extremely important to the correct functioning of your body. Going into early menopause is a variety of different issues that come with it. For example, did you know that when women go into menopause, they tend to have higher rates of obesity at that point? Because, fun fact, low estrogen can make it much easier for you to gain weight. It messes with satiety and satiation. It can increase heart disease. That's why women don't generally tend to get heart disease, don't generally tend to get screened for heart disease before they go into a menopause, because estrogen has a protective effect on that. And the biggest one is osteoporosis. Do you know how important estrogen is for osteoporosis? You are almost 600 pounds. Having weak bones for you is almost a death sentence. So the fact that she doesn't seem to think it's necessary to follow her doctor's instructions is incredibly stupid. You ran out of medicine. You leave the house and get takeout 50 bajillion times a day. Leave your fucking house and go pick up your fucking medicine. Like, God, this is what I mean when she's like, well, people say I look sick because I'm not wearing makeup anymore. I'm 500 pounds, don't you know? It's more than that. If you were someone who was 150 pounds and decided to just stop taking your medications correctly, you would also suffer the consequences of that. And one of them can be having fatigue and looking tired and looking like garbage and feeling like garbage. A lot of what she says and does makes me so upset at her that it's like, Okay, let's move on.
I'm going to call my oncologist and talk to them on the phone because I feel like I want to explain that I'm good. I don't want to take it no more. As long as it's okay, like health-wise, like I'm fine. Like, I'm fine.
This is like backtracking because she's already said that, she stopped taking it, but she'll consult with her doctor afterwards. We don't know if she will or if she won't. She decided without any consultation from the doctor to stop taking her medication, right? And yeah, okay, they messed up. She didn't get her prescription. She should have gone in and made sure she got her goddamn prescription. Like, you better believe if I have a prescription medication, I'm going to be taking it regularly. So the fact that she's just like, oh, well, they didn't send it. Ha, must be fine. I feel okay without it, so I guess it's okay. You know what else low estrogen levels can impact? Depression, something which you're already prone to. It's one of the reasons why post-pregnancy depression is so common, because your estrogen levels go all wonky once the thing that's growing inside of you exits you. Her decision-making process upsets me a lot. like, it's almost like she doesn't want to be better. She doesn't want to live a healthy life. So she sabotages the few places in her life where she is actually doing okay. Yes, you had hysterectomy, and yes, that sucks. But you take the medication, you stay on the right path, and you know what? You could probably do okay for the rest of your life. Just stopping taking the medication that is necessary for you to take as a result of your cancer seems like you're asking for like more complications down the line. They might not be the same. Yeah, maybe if your estrogen levels are really low, you might not get uterine cancer again. But more than likely, you didn't get uterine cancer in the first place because of your estrogen levels. You got uterine cancer because of your weight. I'm not saying that that's 100% the reason, but the chances of her having estrogen, of uterine cancer increase significantly when you are that morbidly obese. So rather than fixing that, you're going to stop taking the hormone that you need for all other parts of your body. And you might end up getting heart disease. You have a terrible diet. Heart disease is probably in the cards for you at this point anyway. Why make it more likely? I'm going to move on from this point because I'm working myself into a tizzy.
I'm going to be getting a therapist. I'm nervous. I still haven't quite looked around and found one yet. My ultimate goal, though, is to find one that understands like eating disorders and things like that, because I feel like it's important to me that we're like on the same wavelength, and you know, there's no going into it with some like weird.
She makes this point where she says that she wants to get a therapist, and she wants somebody who understands eating disorders so that she can talk to them about it. And it struck me as being really weird because in the comments she's pinned down below, it says, I have a therapist that I've been seeing for 2 years. So you want to see 2 therapists? Do you think that's healthy? Do you think seeing 2 therapists with diverging viewpoints on what you should be doing with your life, do you think that's a smart idea? Look, therapy is really helpful, but therapists all have like their different personalities. They all have their different methods of treating people. And when you have that many different opinions, trying to get like, see different therapists, see a therapist. If you don't like them, move on and see another one. See if their method gels with you a little bit more. But seeing multiple therapists, that's not a good idea, because what she's going to end up doing, what a lot of people would end up doing, is just picking the one that they find easier. And that's not the point of therapy. It's also the reason why, like, you've seen Chantel do this, right? Well, she's like, oh, well, this is really keto friendly. I'm like, are you on keto? If you're not on keto, why are you eating a keto friendly meal? It can do more harm to eat a keto friendly meal when you're also eating a ton of carbs. And that's the thing that I think Amber is going to do, but with therapy. She's going to pick the aspects of the different approaches to therapy that suit her best and make them fit for her, when that's not what she should be doing. She needs to follow a plan from someone who's actually gone to school and knows what they're talking about.
So I have a dietitian. Oh boy. I am nervous because, oh my God. There's a detox meal plan for week 1. And it's scary.
So she says that she has a dietitian as well. And, the dietitian has prescribed to her a detox meal plan, and that she's really nervous. And this makes me really nervous because, fun fact, you don't need a detox plan. Your body does all the detoxing that you need to do. Unless you are like actually at toxic levels, by which I mean a physician has said that you need to be detoxed and you might need like chelation therapy if it's like heavy metals or something, whatever. Unless it's something like that, no. Your liver, your kidneys, your bladder, your bowels are very, very efficient at getting rid of all the stuff in your body that you don't need. You absolutely 100% do not need a detox. Don't let anyone convince you on that. There is no scientific evidence that it helps. So I don't know who she's seeing. And this makes me worry that rather than seeing a dietitian, that she's seeing somebody like a nutritionist, which nutritionists can be very, very educated. They can be highly like learned people, or they can just be scammers on the internet who've taken like 4 courses and now are calling themselves nutritionists. For example, what's her name? Fully Raw Christina is a nutritionist. If you guys don't know, she's a quack on the internet. Do not listen to any of her advice. This is not me coming for veganism. This is me coming for Christina in particular. She's a raw food veganist, and she's horrible. She told people to drink essential oils, which, oh my God. So she might be seeing scammers, and Amber is particularly susceptible to scammers. Might I remind you of the Optivia saga, something which every single one of us knew was doomed to fail from the start. Might I remind you of the multiple bouts of Jenny Craig, something which every single one of us knew was I was going to fail all of it. It's failures on top of failures.
So, back to the dietitian thing. I'm ultimately nervous. That's where I'm at because I don't know. Every dietitian, nutritionist, doctor, they all ultimately want you to lose weight, but why is it always in a different way? Like that's the part where I'm just like, who's right? Who's wrong?
Diets are not about right versus wrong. There is no right way to eat. It's only what's most satiable to you. It's only what satisfies you the best. For example, for me personally, I like having higher protein in my diet, higher fat in my diet, and lower carbs in my diet. And what I found is even though I love carbs, I think they're delicious, I'm never satisfied with carbs. If I eat 3 eggs in the morning, right? I had like 3 eggs in the morning. That's a solid amount of protein. It's a solid amount of fat. I have that with a cup of milk. I am good to go for like 4 hours, 5 hours. That's what I did when I went to Japan. Every place we went, me, my brother, my sister, a partner, we stayed in an Airbnb type place where they had a kitchen. We cooked ourselves breakfast every morning and then we were on the go. And this gave us energy and it was one less meal that we had to worry about figuring out when we were outside. It was a solid, satiating meal. So it was like 2 to 3 eggs, right? That's what does it for me. That might not be what does it for Chantal or for Amber or for you. You might want to have a little bit of extra carbs in there, right? You might think to yourself, I think I want to have some fruit. Fruit is what makes me feel best in the morning. That's what a dietitian is there to help you figure out. So when dietitians are giving you different advice, it's because they each have a different approach to what they think might satisfy you. And it's a two-way street. You listen to the dietitian, you do what they tell you, right? You do it for a week, and then you come back to them and say, okay, I did this for a week. I followed it like you said. And here's what I think. I think maybe we should eat a little bit less. I think maybe I should eat a little bit less carb in the morning. I should increase my carb count a little bit. Or maybe I should add a little bit of veggie because I felt like while the food was really good, it didn't like really fill my stomach as much. You know, there wasn't enough volume in it. And you communicate that information back to them and then they can help you incorporate it into your diet in such a way that fits your meal plan, that fits your calories, and then that you can like achieve your goals. It might not necessarily be weight loss. For some people, it's weight gain. For some people, it's muscle gain. We don't know. The fact that you aren't willing to listen to them and you're just like, well, they're giving conflicting information, so they must all be wrong. And then I'm the only one who knows correctly because I, AmberLynn, at 600 pounds, am obviously the paragon of health and therefore know what is the correct way for me to be behaving.
And then I get nervous because I'm like, okay, is this diet plan, healthy? I don't know. I'm so worried about my health, but yet I'll sit there and eat fast food, like mentally ill.
This is not a mental illness. This is not mental illness related. This is you being a know-it-all. This is you being a know-it-all. It's as simple as that. And that's fine. I'm a know-it-all about some stuff as well, right? Stuff that I care about. Like, I think I know everything there is to know about makeup because I consume so much of it and I watch so much of it on the internet. I try and humble myself as much as I can, but there are things in my life where I feel that way. The problem is that she feels this way about everything. And I am telling you that the only people in real life that I've met who have this know-it-all mentality to everything in their lives are people who are actually very insecure, people who know actually nothing. Because they don't have an area of interest where they can be like, I am confident in my ability to know this subject. They're willing to pretend that they know everything about everything. It speaks to a very deep-seated insecurity. I don't know if that's true, but that's just the way it occurs to me. Anyway, that will be it for this video. I don't think it should be too long. Let me know what you guys think, as always. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you guys hated this video, give me a thumbs down. That's okay. I respect everybody's opinions here. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell down below and hit all if you want to know when I upload any videos right away. I've got all my social medias linked down below. I've got Instagram, where it's food stuff and life stuff, and I'm more chill there. I've got Twitter, where I'm a little toxic and a little petty, and I pop off there a lot. So if you want to see more of like angry, ranty me, that's where you can find that. Also the best place to interact with me. And I've got Patreon. Think of Patreon as the tip jar for the internet. So if you like the job that I'm doing here and you would like me to continue, hey, consider tossing a few coins in my direction. You don't have to. It's not necessary, but it really does help me out. And my mic is dying, so I gotta figure out some way of fixing that situation. So I gotta take some of that money. And you guys know I've been trying to buy a camera for a while now, but unfortunately, that will have to be set back. And my patrons really, really, really do help me out because their contributions are essential to like just making this channel as good as I possibly can. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. Peace. A special thanks to my patrons: Acrophobe Christina, Courtney EP, Gigi Wee, Wild Rose, Jam Beans, Jay Thomas, Lauren Chris, Michael B. Petty, That British Unicorn, Sky Andropolis, Sonia P, Xanthal, Debbie Elliott, D. Higgins, Juliet Q, and Kate O.